Next conversation is about sculpture. It's a good segue to that. I know you as well as a sculptor, ceramicist. In one of your interviews, you talk about how well the ceramics sell. Is that still the case? Is ceramics a very difficult thing to do? Do you still do them? Do you ever show them?
Yeah, I show them at our loft. I've shown them, the first early ones were at the Boston Museum of Fine Arts. It was in the 70s. You know, everybody was doing Yamaya and all the African deities and all of that. And, you know, I didn't sort of fit in it a little bit, so I made me some gods. And I made the Black Suffering Jesus shows us his bleeding heart. But the red part of the glaze red done, so it looked like Jesus got a bloody hemorrhoid.
A ceramic sculpture.
Yeah, no, yeah. And then the cross is Black Suffering Jesus and Yellow Man. And so I had Yellow Man, the other ethnic group, going sideways. And that's the one Owen Dotson was by, but he was drunk and he was saying, how wrong. And then we did the mother. And there's the mother, and it's sort of like a skull, and shows this disfigured stomach or something like that. So I made them myself. And then I have this script that this Chinese Malaysian gave me that's based on 26 characters. And it says, Camille loves Jim. Because everybody, you think it's not easy to be married to a white male during that time. Now you know it and I know it too. Ready to walk down the street in Harlem holding hands. No, it's not going to happen. And so I just obscured everything and other things, and now it doesn't matter, who cares. Everybody finally broke down and married whoever they wanted to marry.
Yeah.
You know,
if they could get married.
But it was a good
well to our next conversation.
I mean, do you want to say anything in between there?
Very quickly, we were funded by NYSCA, New York State Council on the Arts, for 30 years. And it was because of Camille. Camille would go down there, black hat, is her ID, and she knew every one of those people, and particularly the black people, and had personal relationships. Just, you know, here comes Camille. And the reason they funded her, not only was she honest and kept good books and spent the money honestly, but she also was, I don't know, enthusiastic. And we published together a journal. 30 years of that journal, which all the artists, you know, have their dialogue.
Yeah, artists
right. And Camille, I think you can tell only one story, and that is about the man who taught you finances.
Calhoun Walker. He was West Indian, and he taught us how to write a grant. He taught Betty Bladen Taylor how to write a Robin Holder, because we didn't know what the word grant meant. And we were down on Center Street at that time, you know, near the courts. And I said, well, Calvin, where does the grant live? I mean, what is it? He said, fill it out. And I filled it out, and then the second time I came, I said, well, how do I do it? And he said, and he filled it out. And the third time I caught it. And he did that to Betty, and to me, and to Robin. And had it not been Calvin, and he watched our back down there at the state council, because he called me one time, and he said, do you have $50,000 in the bank with escrows? I said, no. He said, well, why is it on this thing? I said, I made a mistake. He said, get over here and fix it. He watched our back.
This is Artists and Influence, Volume 15, 1996, with a really great interview with Faith that Moira Rourke did. And let's see, there's 350 interviews in print, and maybe 1,000.
No, about 450.
450 in print. These publications, they get different people to interview people. Sometimes Camille or Jim will interview them, or sometimes a close friend or someone who is
We would listen to people when they would say,
and
you know, you ought to do so-and-so. And we got somebody who was the first black commercial lithographer in Harlem. And nobody came except him and his little grandson and his daughter-in-law. But we would listen, like, you know, and then
And tape it.
Delilah would bring the scrapbooks of these people all in the nursing home, bring them, and we would photograph the photographs. It was, everybody was helping. Everybody knew somebody. They said, you don't know so. Because you didn't know everybody. But we didn't do it alone. And it was joyful, and it was victorious over the people who would leave you out. And there's a lot of those people in the black world, art world. I'm not going to show your work. I ain't going to talk to you. Well, screw you and the horse you rode in on.
Well, from a nickel to a dime, I think
see?
what we're doing here is a continuation.
You're trying.
That's right, trying. We try. As my mother said, they used to say in Africa, they try. So we're trying.